So hi, I'm Joe Pilla, your pop culture monger, and I'm here with
Rich Sands.
and we are back to talk about lots of fun pop culture stuff that's going on. And we're going to start out with the MTV movie and TV nominations, which I consider these the people's Oscars. Because how many times have you heard me talking about movies and you're like, I don't know that, Joe, I did not see that.
It does happen a lot, yes.
Did I tell you that we were on the plane going to Mexico and I was sitting next to this guy? He was a cop from Long Island, and he said that he was a movie aficionado. And I started talking to him.
His match.
Yeah, and he had never heard of Lady Bird, or he'd seen Dunkirk, but he hadn't heard of Lady Bird in some other movie. And I'm like, yeah, you're not an aficionado. Anyway, those movies are not nominated for the MTV Awards, but when
Lady Bird had a nomination.
It is?
I saw. Yeah, it's
all right,
Saoirse Ronan, or however you say her name.
Saoirse. I'm Irish by descent. That's why I have my tan has now turned red.
All right, so why don't we go through the nominees? And,
I didn't tell you I was doing that tangent, did I?
You never tell me about any of your tangents. That's
Okay.
part of the excitement of pop culture manga.
Excellent. So I think we should start out strong, and we should about what is nominated for Best Movie, and it's The Avengers, Black Panther, Girls Trip, It, and Wonder Woman. For me, the surprise is It, and I guess they just had to have 5 in there.
I mean, it was a huge hit.
I didn't see it.
Well, I didn't see it either because I don't like horror movies. But
Because we don't get paid for this, so we're just giving our opinions, whether we've seen it or not, and what we've read and what people tell us.
Yes.
When do we talk about the Tonys? Because we've seen one show.
Okay.
But we'll still talk about it.
Let's settle down and
I
focus.
missed you. You weren't here last time. I'm afraid we're filming differently. I'm afraid to use my mug and make the table move. Go ahead, go.
Okay, so among those 5 movies, personally, Wonder Woman was my favorite, but I would love to see Black Panther win it because I think, first of all, it was an incredible movie. I just saw it for the second time a couple of weeks ago, and it really holds up. It's because Wonder Woman has some real weaknesses in its third act. With the final fight, it just turns down to disaster porn, whereas Black Panther really has a good message throughout the whole thing. So
Disaster porn, and they're stormy. Okay, I couldn't think of a joke. Stormy porn, disaster. All right, keep going.
So anyway, my pick would be Black Panther, but Wonder Woman a close second.
Well, I don't think I said this yet, but Tiffany Haddish, who, by the way, was not mentioned in the video that I did all by myself, she is hosting the MTV TV and Movie Awards, or Movie and TV Awards, and she is nominated for Best Movie in Girls Trip, Best Breakout Star, and another Best Performance by a Female, I think, as well. So I'm going to go with Girls Trip, only because I think Avengers and Black Panther and Wonder Woman could all kind of cancel each other out. The other thing they have in here is Best Show, and Best Show nominees are, I'm going to hold this up because I look like I'm looking weird, is 13 Reasons Why, 13 Reasons Why, Game of Thrones, Grownish, Riverdale, and Stranger Things, and it's Grownish, not Blackish. So it's a spinoff. So of these, I know that Stranger Things won last year. Mm-hmm. They had a really strong season 2. And Millie Bobby Brown is nominated for Breakout Performance, Best Performance in a Show. So I have to say, of these, I feel like it's really between Stranger Things and 13 Reasons Why. I feel like Game of Thrones is not as
Well, first
big.
of all, when we say it's between, you're talking about your opinion or who you think is actually going to win? Because we're not even sure how they choose these awards.
Well, I would say who I think is going to win.
Okay.
I would say 13 Reasons Why has lots of issues because it's about the suicide. It's been a little controversial, but it's coming back, and it has momentum because season 2's trailer is out, whereas Stranger Things, I think, is riding a wave of success. So I don't know, does MTV want to have the same winner every time? So I'm starting to think through, and I think 13 Reasons Why is going to win.
Okay. I'd go with Stranger Things just because, for me personally, it was the best show on that list. Riverdale is kind of a guilty pleasure, but it's kind of turned into hate watching for me. So if it was season 1, I might give them a chance, but season 2's been kind of a train wreck.
And then back to movies. Best Performance in a Movie. Chadwick Boseman in Black Panther, Timothée Chalamet in Call Me By Your Name, Ansel Elgort in Baby Driver, Daisy Ridley in Star Wars, and Saoirse Ronan in Lady Bird.
I love this collection of random performances, but obviously...
Could you imagine if those were the nominees for the Oscars? That'd be insane. I have to say, Lady Bird is out. There's no way she's going to win. If she would have won the Oscar, I'd say maybe, but...
And the Baby Driver is not going to win either. But I like that it's a fun mix of different kinds of performances. A superhero versus a gay romance is kind of hilarious.
And the coming of age story.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it's really cool too that it's representative of like Star Wars and Lady Bird in the same category. When is that ever going to happen? But I'm going to go with Timothée Chalamet because I think he's missed out on the Oscar, and the Chadwick Boseman is nominated in other areas, so he will walk away with at least one award. So this way they get to mix it up a little bit.
I agree. I think that Timothy was definitely the best performance of these people, although Chadwick Boseman was excellent, and I kind of loved Daisy Ridley. But I think...
All right, tangent alert. Do you know that Daisy Ridley sings on Barbra Streisand's most recent album? She sings At the Ballet with Anne Hathaway and Barbra Streisand from a chorus line. I think it's a chorus line, and it's quite good. She's very funny.
I did not know that.
Yes, Tangents with Joe. And then best performance in a show, so a TV show, it's Millie Bobby Brown, Stranger Things, Darren Criss in The Assassination of Gianni Versace, which you know that we love, Catherine Langford, 13 Reasons Why. She was also in Love, Simon. Issa Rae, Insecure, and Maisie Williams, Game of Thrones.
That is a random collection.
I mean, I don't even know what to say about that. Like, Issa Rae comes out of nowhere because it's like children. I mean, Darren Criss is a grown man, but it's kind of teenagers and young adults. And then, and not that Issa Rae is old, but she's cursing up a storm and having sex, and it's like, well, I don't know. It's a little crazy. I'm going to say it's hands down, it's Millie Bobby Brown.
I agree.
She's a superstar.
It almost feels like the nominees were selected to make sure she wins this category.
I mean, I would love Darren Criss to come out, but that's just, well, I would like him to come out, but he's engaged to a woman. But I don't think he's going to win. And the next category I think is really fun is Best Villain. And I have to say, what's really funny about Best Villain is this was how I found out that Allison Williams was the villain in Get Out, because she was nominated last year for Best Villain, and I had no idea.
You had not yet seen the movie.
I had not seen the movie, and I knew that something crazy happens when she brings her boyfriend, African-American boyfriend, to the country. I just thought it was a few, cross words with a grandmother. I had no idea where that was going. So what do we think we're going to vote for here?
You haven't read the nominees.
Okay, what am I talking about? Villain. Josh Brolin in Avengers, Adam Driver in Star Wars, Michael B. Jordan in Black Panther, Aubrey Plaza in Legion, and Bill Skarsgård in It. Is Legion a TV show?
Yeah.
So they're mixing TV and movies together. So that's a little weird because they only have one TV show, and I'm sure there are more villains on TV than just the one Legion person.
Well, I think Michael B. Jordan, this is his award to lose. It was an incredible performance. As I was saying, that the movie was so strong, had such a good story, and a real villain that you could understand, whereas Josh Brolin's villain in Avengers was just ridiculous.
He might have a better chance in the Deadpool movie because at least you can see his face. I didn't even know that was him in Avengers. And then the next one, we're going to do two more. The next one is Best Hero, and did we do that one? No, we didn't do that one. Chadwick Boseman's here, Black Panther. Emilia Clarke for Game of Thrones, and it's so rare that you see Daenerys Targaryen written down. It's kind of funny. Gal Gadot for Wonder Woman, Grant Gustin for The Flash, and Daisy Ridley for Star Wars. So Daisy Ridley is everywhere, but I think she might go home empty-handed.
Yeah, I think this is the award that Chadwick Boseman's going to win. Assuming he doesn't win Best Performance by an actor or actress, then I think he'll get Best Hero.
And Emilia Clarke,
I think Game of Thrones is it's past its peak in terms of keeping people's interest.
I think it's just been so long since that season has been on. And then the last one I think we want to talk about is Best Kiss.
Okay.
So we've got TV and movies again. We've got Jane the Virgin. She's kissing Justin Baldoni, so that's Jane and Raphael in Jane the Virgin. Now, if you know this show, she was inseminated with his sperm by accident when she was a virgin, and they've had this kind of on-again, off-again romance. And then Love, Simon, it's Nick Robinson and Keenan Lansdale, so that's Simon and Bram was The Secret Love, if you haven't seen it yet. Oops. Then it's Ready Player One with Olivia Cook and Ty Sheridan, Riverdale with Archie and Veronica, Stranger Things with Finn Wolfhard and Millie Bobby Brown, so that's Mike and 11. And I think Jane the Virgin would be a great win because it's TV against movies, and I think it's 4 seasons that they've been leading up to this, and they're trying to be happy, but it's just not going to work out because it is a real-life American telenovela. But it's Gotta be Stranger Things.
I agree. I think Stranger Things. It's definitely not going to be Love, Simon. That had to be the least sexual, least chemical kiss I've ever seen on screen. They had zero chemistry, and I was not buying it.
At least it was two boys.
Yeah.
I don't know. All right, let's do one more real quick. So best scene stealer, we've got Tiffany Haddish. Okay, so we're done. Because she's going to win. None of these other people even stand a chance. She's up against Madeleine Petsch in Riverdale. Who is that? Is that Betty?
Oh, she's Cheryl. She's actually really good. She is a scene stealer. But she's not going to be Tiffany.
If she's not Josie and a Pussycat, Archie, Veronica, or Betty, or Jughead. Jughead should be stealing.
He's not a scene stealer.
He's lame. All right, and it's also the girl Letitia Wright in Black Panther, and then it's also Korg in Thor. I mean, I think they're just really stretching it.
They've created an award, or they've curated the nominees to make sure that Tiffany wins.
And there's other things like Best Reality Show. So RuPaul's Drag Race is nominated. It will win because it doesn't lose. And also Best Comedic Performance. Tiffany's going to walk away with that as well. But there, the nominees are a little bit more competitive. You've got Kate McKinnon on SNL, Amy Schumer in I Feel Pretty, Jack Black in Jumanji, and Dan Levy in Schitt's Creek.
Jumanji, is that the French pronunciation?
What is it, Jumanji?
Yeah.
That's like I was at work one time and Quantico was coming out and I called it Quantico and they were like, what? They're like, it's Quantico. I'm like, oh, like in Silence of the Lambs? They're like, as in the FBI headquarters. All right, so we've gone on a little while. So watch these awards. These are the Oscars for regular people.
They're airing in June sometime.
They're airing in June, yes. And maybe we will definitely recap and see how we did. So onwards and upwards. Follow us on our Facebook group, Pop Culture Monger, and please subscribe to the channel.